How we doing today, folks? Welcome to another episode of D-Ski's Kitchen. So folks, today we are going to make a chicken penne pasta with vegetables. All right, I can't wait to show you this cook. This has a touch of Sicilian flair to it. It's really easy to do. So I'm going to show you the ingredients. Now, you saw on the intro that we chopped them all up, but let's talk about the ingredients really quick and then we can get started with this process. All right, so what we have is yellow and green squash. We have garlic cloves. We're going to use 4 garlic cloves today. We have lemon, so lemon will be incorporated. We have white onion. We have grape tomatoes, okay? So this will be a part of our awesome dish. We have Parmesan cheese. We have chicken breast. We have yellow and red bell pepper. We have creme fraiche. We have mushroom stock. Folks, we have a 16 ounce of our penne pasta that we'll be using. We have chives, and finally, we have salt and pepper, all right? These are all our ingredients. It's time now to show you how we're gonna put all this together. But let me show you one more star of the show. So we have our latest cookware from All Clad, and this is our pasta pentola, all right? So all this means for a quick thing is this is a 3-piece set. The benefit of this with cooking your pasta is you don't have to worry about draining, okay? So you have your lid, and what you have ultimately is a large colander, okay? So here's what you do. You fill up your water like you always would do if you're boiling pasta. Then once your water boils, you put this colander in, all right? Then you would add your pasta. When your pasta is done, instead of having to drain and do all those things you usually have to do with trying to get the water off your pasta, you just raise up your pot, shake it a few times, and you have hot, fresh pasta ready to go. All right, so we'll be using this today as well. All right, so you know what we'll do. I'll take you to the cutting board. I'll show you step by step how we're going to get this together. We'll go to the stove top, cook it up, and before you know it, we'll be back at the cutting board checking out the final product of our awesome chicken penne pasta with vegetables. I want to thank you as always for joining me, and let's get cooking. Okay, folks, so you saw all the cutting. We are ready to go. All veggies are ready. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and get our pasta cooking as well as start sauteing some of our vegetables. So let's get started on that. So with that being said, we're going to use the pasta pentola, and we're just going to fill it up with water. Now, one thing important when using this, because you are putting the colander piece into it after it starts boiling, is to only fill up the pot maybe halfway, okay? So that's about as far as we're gonna go there. When you add the other part of it, it will raise that water level up and you can have water spilling all over the place. So you gotta watch that. Okay, so I just went halfway on this. I'm gonna come back and get some salt added. We wanna definitely do that. Kind of add a little flavor to this pasta. So we'll do about a tablespoon of salt in our water. From there, folks, we're going to go right to the stove top and get this boiling, okay? Again, once it starts boiling, then we'll add our pasta to this portion of the pentola, and then we'll let this thing do its thing based on the packaging instructions, okay? So I'm going to get this started and get it heated up. Okay, so we're off and boiling. Let's go ahead and get some olive oil, and then we'll get started on sauteing our veggies. Okay, folks, so our saucepan is ready, so we're going to start off with our squash. Get that added. These are really nice mixing bowls. We'll be using these throughout the process today, okay? We're also going to come back with our peppers and onions and get those added. We'll let this cook, I would say, around 10 to 12 minutes. The idea again is to get some awesome browning on these veggies, okay? In the meantime, our water is boiling. We'll be adding our pasta very soon. I'll get back with you guys in a bit. Okay, so we'll just give it a few more seconds and we will be done with this. And what we want to do is transfer this back into one of our mixing bowls and just let it rest for a second. That's all we're doing. All these wonderful veggies hanging out ready for the next step. That's all they're doing now. Waiting for the next step. Okay, so we have formed somewhat of a fond in the pan. We're going to continue on working that as well. We got everything out. All right, we're coming back with another drizzle of olive oil. Get the eye turned back on. And then we're coming back with our mushrooms. Now I have baby bellow mushrooms is what I'm using for this cook, okay? So we're going right on in with that. Same thing, we'll saute those for around 7 to 8 minutes until they get cooked thoroughly. But let's go ahead now and get our pasta added. Our water's boiling. Okay, so we have a rolling boil here. So we're just gonna add our pasta to the colander. This is a 1 pounder, so it's 16 ounces. And we're just gonna go right on in, folks, okay? Put our lid on. We'll get back with this in around 10 minutes. It should be ready to go at that time. I'll see you guys in just a second and we'll check out the next step. All right, folks, so our mushrooms didn't take long. They are ready to go. We're gonna bring them over and add those to the pot as well. So now we have all of our veggies sauteed. We'll just add that right on top. Now you're doing this because a lot of these vegetables cook at different times and we're trying to avoid having anything that's mushy or things like that, okay? All right, I'm going right back to the eye. Our pasta is doing its thing, and what we're gonna do now is go ahead and start working on our chicken, okay? So here we are, our veggies are done, we'll move them. We're gonna come back with some cling wrap, and the reason we're doing that is because we wanna pound this chicken flat. So this is all we're doing. Okay, looking pretty good. We'll discard this. So again, folks, we're going back to the stovetop. We're going to add more olive oil. And all we're doing now, folks, is going ahead and starting to brown our chicken breast. And we're going to want a medium-high heat here. Okay, same thing as far as seasoning goes. We're just going with kosher salt and black pepper. That is our seasonings for today. All right, so the plan is in just a second, we have around 2 more minutes with our pasta. I'll show you the cool thing around the pentola and how that works with pasta. And then we're just gonna wait for our chicken breast to get done and then we'll move on to the next step. Here's our pasta, totally finished. In most cases, you would have to pour it over the sink, drain all the water out. What the pentola allows you to do is just raise up your colander, shake out your excess just like that. What it allows you to do is drain your pasta, very easy, just kind of shake it off. And then what you have is pasta that is done, okay? It is absolutely ready to go. I'm gonna sit it here for now because we're not ready to use it. We are still cooking up our chicken breast, but what I wanted to show you is the cool thing with the pentola and how it's really, really good with pasta. So we went around 5 minutes on this side, and what we're looking for is around 5 to 7 minutes on each side, okay? So we're browning up nicely. We'll get back together in just a bit and check out the next step. Check it out, nice color, it's what we want. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add it to the cutting board. So the idea for right now is to let our chicken cool and we're gonna cut our chicken into chunks, okay? So they're nice, seasoned, golden brown. We're gonna get our pan cleaned up and then move on to the next step. So our pan has been washed. Our chicken is cooling. We're gonna come back now. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter. Do that to our pan. We wanna cook over medium-high heat. We also want to introduce more olive oil, so another drizzle of olive oil. We're gonna fire up the eye. Get that going, okay? And then the idea is to go ahead and season up our tomatoes. So you remember we cut all those tomatoes in half. We're gonna get those added. I'm coming back with herbs de Provence on these. I want to give them a nice coat of that. We're going to let the butter, the herbs, and the oil cook these tomatoes for around 2 to 4 minutes once they get hot. Okay, so right now they're warming up. All right, and remember, we just want to cut our chicken in chunks. So I'm going to cut it down in the middle. We took the time to season and cook this chicken really nice so it can be just phenomenal in this pasta dish. Okay, so I just did a cut right in the middle, and now I'm just going down this way to make chunks. Okay, so our chicken's going to hang out here, continue to cool. Our tomatoes will be done in no time flat, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So let's get back on the eye. I hope you can hear that cooking over there, so we need to get back over there. All right, so we're going to come back, a little salt and pepper. Things are cooking up nicely. Check it out. Okay, if you remember, chives is a part of our recipe. We're coming in with chives now. I'm going to do about a tablespoon of chives. Continue mixing. And squeeze some lemon. So we got to get our lemons going. So let's get some lemon added to this dish as well. Okay, so we have this where we want it. We're going to go ahead and turn our eye down to low. And then we're coming back with our mushroom stock. And we want to do about a cup of mushroom stock. Build these flavors, folks. So our mushroom stock is added. Then we want to follow that up with our crema fraiche. We're going to add this whole container of that right now. Get that spoon right on in. Let this just kind of mix together, and it's going to make a beautiful sauce, okay? So we're just going to simmer this for a while. We'll get back together in about 10 minutes. I'll let you see how this is coming along. Then we'll move on to the next step. But we're almost done. This has been an awesome ride so far. See you guys in a second. All right, folks, so our sauce is starting to thicken really well. We have this crema fraiche in with all of these herbs, these spices, and the tomatoes. So now we're going to start incorporating everything together, and then we're going to let this simmer and let everything get mixed into this awesomeness, okay? All right. This will continue to thicken up. It will do that even more once you let it stand for a while, okay? But first, let's introduce our veggies. We'll get those added back to our pot or back to our saucepan. All right. I want to get those mixed in. Start building that flavor into these veggies. Then we're going to come back with our pasta. Get that introduced as well. And remember, we've already drained it, so all we have to do is get that poured in. Okay, so there's our pasta. And we'll incorporate that into our sauce. Now, the idea is to let this simmer, continue to thicken up, continue to season and soak into the pasta, soak into those veggies. Then we're going to come back and add our chicken as well. Here's a real up close and personal of this beautiful pasta dish. All we're waiting for now is for those seasonings to get incorporated into the chicken. But at the end of the day, what we also want is to thicken this sauce up. All right, folks, so we shouldn't need anything else. We just have the lid on. We'll let this thing go maybe for 10 minutes. Everything should be thickened up. Everything should be incorporated. And we'll meet at the cutting board to check out the final product of our chicken penne pasta with veggies. See you guys in a bit. Okay, folks, we are back, and I am so excited to show you the final product of our chicken penne pasta and vegetables. Folks, Sicilian style is what we did today, all right? So if you remember, we cooked with a host of veggies. We used seasonings. We used chicken. We used cream. We used all kinds of awesome things to finish off this dish. So now, before we check out the final product, you know we're going to do an up close and personal. Let's do it now. All right, so I know you got a chance to see that awesome up close and personal of this beautiful chicken penne pasta with veggies. Now we're gonna top it off and be done with it, do a taste test, and close this video out. So here's what we're doing, folks. We're coming back with more of the dry chives, and this is a top garnish, just to make this absolutely beautiful. Look at that, just beautiful. Nice portion of chives on top. And we are coming back with Parmesan cheese. All right, so we have a nice 10-year aged Parmesan cheese that we're gonna put on top of this. Salivating here. Look at this. Gracious. I'm telling you folks, this looks absolutely phenomenal. All right, here we go. So we're gonna get us a bite. Oh gosh, this is so good. I want a bite of everything. I don't know how to get it all. But let's get us some chicken, some of this squash and pasta. Here we go, folks. These bold flavors, folks. That cream fresh, along with that mushroom stock, really has a pronounced flavor in this dish. The beautiful chicken, the squash and veggies gives it that lively, awesome flavor as well. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe to my channel. Let everyone know what D-Ski's Kitchen is up to. And as always, at D-Ski's Kitchen, cooking is not a pastime, it's a passion. I appreciate you for hanging in there with me with this episode here of Sicilian style chicken, penne pasta, and veggies. I'll catch you guys on the next one.